What's up, warriors? Oos, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm gonna tell you about the time that I escaped the martial arts cult and lived as a monk. Well, I'll save the story about escaping the cult for another time, but I did live as a monk for 3 weeks and I learned three really big important lessons there, and I'll share them with you. If you got addictions and vices, I've definitely had all those. This is one of the stepping stones that I experienced to realize that I did have some problems. So here we go. If you don't know me, my name is Nakapan. I am on the journey to become the first Triple Crown champion. That is a world champion in 3 different martial arts: Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, and Kudo, in the over 45-year-old division. And I am documenting my journey to share the lessons that I've learned with the world, and so we can chase greatness together. Give you the backdrop of joining the monkhood. My life at that time, this is about 13 years ago. So my life was in chaos. I was out of control, eating whatever I wanted, not getting enough sleep. My business was falling apart. I was being sued. Again, a story for another time. Sued by multiple people with a business. Oh my God, everything was crazy. Escaping a cult. And so I decided I needed a reset. So what I did was I decided to become a monk. Now, in my culture, Thai culture, I was born here. My family came here in 1970 as immigrants. So I'm first generation American, first generation Thai, born here in America. It is part of our culture that every man go into the monkhood. And this is like a sign of ripening, right? Maturing. So you're learning a lot of things about Buddhism and about spirituality. And now you have become a man. So that's kind of the idea behind it. And, growing up here in the West, that was really not part of my upbringing, right? As you know, I was born here, raised in DC, Maryland, Virginia area. I was raised in actually Bethesda, Maryland. And most of my friends were, atheists almost, right? Nobody believed in anything. So it was interesting to experience that. Now, in addition to all the things that were going on in my life and my background, I thought this was a good time for me to get a reset, right? I wasn't doing anything positive at that time. My life was kind of going downhill. So I figured, why not? So what I had to do was learn all these different passages in Pali, an ancient language, ancient chants, basically like responsibilities, principles that I had to go by. So it took me a couple months to do that. I was smoking a lot of weed at that time. So my memory was terrible. And that's one of the things that I'll later share with you, how I began my journey to quitting marijuana. And so I was able to do that. Now, what happens is they shave your head, right? Shave your head, shave your eyebrows. You get only 3 pieces of cloth to clothe yourself with. This is all you get. You have no material possessions, essentially. You get another name. So basically, you're like reborn as another person. And so I went through the whole rite of passage, did the thing, and now I'm the monk. Now, I'll share with you some of the weirdness that I experienced. It's new to me, right? As this new person with a new name, I had all these almost like this holiness that was given to me because I'm wearing almost like a costume. Also here in the West, it's like everything's about appearance, right? If I'm a police officer, I wear a blue outfit, and now everybody has this authority that they give to me now. Now, it's kind of similar in religion, right? It's like Buddhism, very much organized religion. And now I had this holy, what would you say, aura almost. People were bowing down when I walked past them. Women couldn't touch me. I was always, treated with utmost respect, and they didn't know me. They didn't know my past history or anything like that. And so it's almost like it was a weird feeling, right? I almost felt like an imposter to a certain degree. But anyway, I was living this life, so let's go ahead and go that way. And so the first lesson I learned was how to fast. Now, as a martial artist, I made weight a lot of times, probably the most unhealthiest ways, either not eating for long periods of time, only eating one thing, not eating something. Like it was all over the place. It was a mess. But this is kind of the first time where I was experiencing fasting, because as a monk, my daily life was pretty regimented. I'd get up at 5 in the morning. We would go to a room and we would meditate for half an hour. Then we would chant for 15, 20 minutes. People that are in the community that come to visit that day would come also and chant with us. And now it's time for breakfast, right? So eat a nice healthy breakfast, some rest, more chanting, more studying Buddhism, and then lunch at 11 o'clock. After that, there's no more eating. So basically, I would eat from 7 to 11. It was a very restricted feeding window. So it's 20 hours of fasting, 4 hours of eating. I could have water. I could have tea, but I could not have food like anything with too much sustenance almost, right? So I was fasting, and you know what? After about a week, I felt like really, really strong. It took me a little bit of time to do that because although I skipped meals as a kid because I wanted to lose weight or make weight, I never had a regimen that was forced upon me. And living in the monastery, living in the Thai temple in Washington, D.C., it was new. And that was when I found the powers of fasting because I thought I would like waste away, like, my muscles would go away or something like that, and I would feel weak. But I felt really strong, really energized, mental clarity, and as working, being as a monk, but also making sure that I'm keeping myself as physically fit as possible. I would do a lot of push-ups and sit-ups, and I had my own kind of calisthenics that I was doing while I was living in the Thai temple. I couldn't get away from that, and I felt extremely strong. I felt like uh, some people would say I was the most jacked monk there, if that made any sense. And this is really cool because that's one of the reasons why I kind of checked into there. I vision myself like I want to be a warrior monk, right? I want to do all these things that are positive, and hopefully those benefits kind of stack. Anyway, I'm digressing, but fasting, first experience with it, did it for 3 weeks. It was amazing, forced upon me, but still very amazing. And I learned a lot from it. Now, also in the description section of this video, I have a AI prompt that can help you develop custom meals and help you make weight and or maintain a healthy weight or get down to a certain weight. It's great. I use it all the time in my competitions. You can go get it too, right in the description below. Second lesson that I've learned, some of you might already know that for a good portion of my life, I was almost, I wouldn't say I was an addict. You ask somebody, they'd probably say I was an addict, but for you, I'm just a weed smoker, right? And I smoked weed for probably 3 or 4 years before I went to the monastery heavily every day. Get up, smoke, go to sleep. Had to smoke before I went to sleep. Had to smoke before I ate something. Had to smoke before I did something. So, it was really part of my culture. And I don't know if you know about Jiu-Jitsu culture, but it's a big part of Jiu-Jitsu culture, at least some place that you go to. So I thought it was very much normal. My life was like that. And because of that, I wanted to hang out in that bubble. I wanted to hang out with people that did that thing so that I wouldn't feel weird, right? Even though at that time, like now smoking weed's like everybody's doing it. It's almost lost its cool in my opinion, and that's why I'm so happy that I've gotten away from it. But it took me a long time, and being in the monastery was the first time I was able to do it for a long period of time, 3 weeks, about 21 days. Went cold turkey, obviously, because you can't really taper off or have anyone to smoke if that's not what you're supposed to be doing as a monk. You're supposed to be studying Buddhism, getting closer to spirituality, and there wasn't any room for that. So it was forced upon me, and I had to go through all the withdrawals of not smoking. There's a lot. There's like you sweat in your sleep, you're not really hungry, so that kind of helped with the fasting part because I'm not really ready to eat. Although if I didn't eat for any time of those 4 hours, that's going to be on me, right? Next time eat is tomorrow, so you got to make it happen. But what I really so being forced to not partake in marijuana also helped me to realize what kind of an issue I had with it. And also let me feel what it was like to be off it. I mean, I started feeling amazing, just amazing. And there's a lot of benefits to quitting that. Again, I'm not judging you if you do smoke it. I definitely smoked it for 8 years. And this was only the first time that I was able to stop in a long time. Now, spoiler alert, like it didn't stick with me. Like fasting didn't stick with me. Not smoking didn't stick with me. It was the first introduction to it and helped me realize that these things were going to help me in life. So over the course of this journey and this channel, of course, I'll be telling you how I did all those things along with you guys following me on my journey to become the first Triple Crown champion. That was a great experience. It probably took me a lot longer for my memory to improve, but I just felt like I had more energy. I felt I had more mental clarity. Wasn't feeling as depressed as sometimes when you smoke marijuana, it's like that's how you get away from depression. You think that it cures depression, but really, like, over the course of time, it really does affect your mental health. So I don't recommend it at all, but I understand it because I did it for a really long time. In any case, the third big lesson that I learned was that because I came out of the monastery and I went back, it didn't take me that long, because I hung around the same people and I was doing the same things. And so I went back to it pretty much right away and was feeling bad again, was back into my reality, right, of this chaos where before I was in the monastery, I had this bliss also because no one expected anything of me. I couldn't leave the grounds. I was just kind of stuck there. So no one was bothering me about business. And I got this peaceful 3 weeks. But then coming back, I felt the stresses of what it was to be a business owner, what it was to be a competitor, what it was to deal with all these financial troubles and people coming after you. And so, but that's all in my own creation, right? Like I created that scenario for myself because of my habits, because of what I was doing. But being clean, having a clean living for 3 weeks helped me realize how positive that could be. And that kind of sparked my journey and idea for slow self-improvement, right? So I was kind of back in the bottle, but over time I was able to kind of crawl out of it one bad habit at a time. So I just wanted to share that with you, the story, because a lot of people ask me, they've seen pictures of me looking like a monk. I'll post them up here so you can check it out. But yeah, I did do that. I did learn some things. Did they stick with me all the way? No, I wish they could. I'm only human, but at the end of the day, the experiences that I had led me to up to this point, right? And I think that at this point, I've done a lot to improve. I'm not perfect, right? Every day it's always something else you could do. But in any case, the idea is to strive for excellence one day at a time. So I hope you got a lot out of this. If you like this content, if you like what's going on the channel, please subscribe, leave me a like in the comment below. My next tournament is going to be the Paris World Championships. That's a Veterans World Championship in judo. Hopefully I'll get my first jewel in the Triple Crown Championship that I have created for myself. And I'm glad that you guys are on this journey with me. Ooh, stay strong, brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the next one.